Well, it is the end of summer and fall is here, and what better way than to do a book haul. Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal and this is Books Forever After, where I sit on the floor and I talk about everything and all things books and nothing but the books. Okay, as you can tell by the thumbnail or my little intro there, we are doing a book haul, and this is an end of the summer book haul for all the books that I got in July and August. Now a lot of these, I think I'm looking at 30 plus, like 38 here. Most of these I got at library sales. A lot of libraries around me had some book sale events, and a lot of these were like buy one get one or things like that, so that was really cool. And most of those are already at 50 cents as well, so that was really cool. And yeah, and we got a little bit of pre-order and some whatnot orders from Aimee, and yeah, and we'll just go here and let's just get started and rolling. Rockin' and rolling, let's do it. First, as mentioned, I got these from Aimee, and I'll link her links down below. And she acquired some Johanna Lindsay's, and as you know, I'm trying to acquire those ones and reread her backlist again and try to find my favorites. And luckily these ones had some step backs, because sometimes you can't really find those ones. This one is, and all these are in really good condition, which is really good. This one is called The Air. Here it is. This one is called The Air. And there is that step back. And if you're new here, I don't remember exactly all the premise of these. I read these over, what, 15-20 years ago, so I don't know exactly the premise of these, and I did not take the time to properly prepare for this video, and we're just here for the step back. This one is Heart of a Warrior by Johanna Lindsay as well. I really like this one. Love that. This looks really cool. Like that. Another one of those was Lisa Kleypas, which I'm really super excited. I think I might have one of these already. No, I don't think I do. Nope, I don't. They look kind of similar. I don't know why. What is up with a couple of Lisa Kleypas's step backs or covers kind of look similar, which is weird. But this one is Stranger in My Arms. I love the cutout. And then this step back, this kind of artwork I just really love. The style of like this painting style, which is really nice. So I have that one, Stranger in My Arms. And then When Strangers Marry. I have that one. And then Julie Garwood is another one that I'm trying to reread again, and I think I almost have all of this series, because I really remember really enjoying this series. It's a modern like western, like one of the first small town romances, I think. So this is the Claiborne Bride series. This one, so I have the second and the third. I think I need the first one, and then the other one has like For the Roses, I think it's like another one that's a part of the series. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, we have one white rose. For some reason I cannot pronounce words. I don't know what it is about when I push play, but apparently I just lose all sorts of capability of pronouncing words. There you have that one. No step backs for these ones. These are really relatively thin, which I didn't realize, but and then this is One Red Rose, so that's the third one. So that's that one. And then I was surprised she actually threw in a couple freebies, which I thought was really cool. And I've never heard of this author, and this one is Elizabeth Lowell, Only You. I don't think it's in, I forget what ones it's in. What do you call it? What the name of the series, if it's a series. I'm guessing it's an only series. But yeah, it looks kind of cool. This one looks like it's a something with gambling and cards and such, and that's typically not my favorite a lot of times when the hero's like a gambler thing. I don't know, I'm just not usually a fan, but we'll see about that one. I'm not sure if that's what it is for this one, but and then we have Only Mine. I love the little embossing here, or the, is it embossing? Whatever the word is, I can't think of the word. And then that one kind of reminds me of the Amanda Quick. I wonder if it's the same artist. Probably. Is this a Piro? Oh, what is it? Mr. Waltz something. I think it's Mr. Waltz. Oh, this is by George Jones is the cover. And who did the... Did they do the step back? I don't know. It doesn't really show the step back. It says the cover is by George Jones, so don't know about step back. Alright, so there is that one. And then a separate one with a different person was The Ecstasy by Nicole Jordan. This one sounds good because it is a marriage of convenience, which is like reluctantly in the whole forced proximity thing, so sounds really, really good by Nicole Jordan. I haven't read her either before, and I didn't know that this was a large print, so you know, flipping through here I was like, oh, is it bad that I'm like, ooh, I like that it's a large print? Must be getting a little older. You know, as it is. And then a couple ones that I found as well, I think at a library sale. Yeah, this was another library sale. So this one I found was a historical fiction called The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. And I'm starting to want to dip my toe in other kind of genres because I did read back in the day historical fiction a lot. So I'm interested in trying to go back to that a little bit and see if I can find anything. The reason why I really liked historical fiction was it had like romantic subplots a lot of the time, but it still gave me kind of a classic literature adaptation feeling sometimes as well, when, you know, think Pride and Prejudice kind of feeling. So I would kind of read those, but it was also cool just to learn about history and such like that, and just a more storytelling kind of style. So, but yeah, it was like based on true events and such. This one is following, I think, two sisters in World War II. And then this one is Someone Wanting His Way Comes by Christy Caldwell. I haven't read this one either. So this is Widowed Husband's Best Friend. Interesting. I think she runs a lady group, maybe? I don't know. Oh, the Mismatch Society. That's funny. It says, with each new liberated member, the scandalous circle wreaks havoc on the romantic prospects of London's frustrated male peerage. That's funny. That sounds cool. So interested in trying that. Let me know if you read this one. If you liked this one, or if you like this author. Interested in trying her out. And then next, I read already the first one, but this one was ordered off of Amazon because the author got traditionally picked up, and silly me thought that they were going to at least publish the third one, so I think it's going to be a trilogy, and now it sounds like it might be a 4-book series now. I'm not sure, I have to check, but the traditional ones isn't going to be published until next year, and now I'm like really sad. So we'll see if I like the second book. The first book was a 4-star for me, so I really enjoyed this. This is truly a Highland historical romance feeling, but in a fantasy paranormal, because with werewolves basically, or wolf shifters. So it has that paranormal fantasy feeling. Exactly what that one is, and it sounds like book 2, it may have like a bit of a love triangle. I haven't read book 2 yet, so book 2 is The Night Prince, and this is The Wolf King. It's made a bit of some its way, gotten pretty hyped recently on like Instagram and YouTube and all other places, but yeah, interested in trying the second one. I really enjoyed the first one. Maybe I'm hoping to get to book 2 in November, but we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, and now I'm kind of sad because now I'm like, well, I do like read paperbacks better, but we'll see if I like it enough to get the traditional one. So if I want to do that. But it is on Kindle Unlimited. Listen to like immersive read it with the audiobook as well, which is a duet, which I really like. It only has the one male character though, so, but I think book 2 does have 3 different narrators for more of the duet narration, which I love. So super excited for that too as well. And then I also picked up at Barnes & Noble, went with my son. I think I had a credit or a coupon available, and we were there primarily because his birthday was in July. And I picked up Heavenly Bodies while I was there. I was hoping to get the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. But this one is a, oh gosh, what is it called when it's like an astrology stars, kind of like celestial fantasy romance, which I'm really intrigued by. I've heard it's really been popular, and it's been a lot of people's favorite of the years. I think last year, I think originally it was indie published as well, so I'm looking forward to trying this one. And I think book 2 was just released, so this one also might be a contender to try to read perhaps in December or late November. We'll see. I'm really interested in picking this one up because I've heard nothing but good things about this one. And the next one, this is book 2 from the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. I literally just finished reading Corrupt by in this first book in the series just a couple of days ago, which I really enjoyed. It was a 4-star. I'm interested in continuing on. A lot of these are interconnected standalones, so you have to read them in order, but they're following a different couple each time. So really enjoyed that. And yeah, so we'll see how this one turns out. And then this one was also a pre-order from Barnes & Noble. This is Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. This is her first traditionally picked up novel, and it's the first a new series by her. I actually just recently picked up her Married with Fae, or Married with Fae. I don't know. The first one is like a deal with an Elf King one, so I do have those indie ones, and those ones are getting traditionally picked up too as well, and they're really pretty. I think they're actually publishing later this year or early next year. They looked really pretty. And they actually do like the art in the step back part, which I thought was cool. I had originally read this as a NetGalley arc because I didn't, and I already was pre-ordering it because I'm really excited about it because it is a tarot card magic with Academy and Trials. I mean, those are all yeses, like check marks, everything that I like. And I did really enjoy this one. This one was a 4-star, and I had pre-ordered this because I didn't think I was going to get that NetGalley arc, and I found out later after that I did, which didn't turn out too bad because these are really pretty edges and such, and I did really enjoy this book. I am really intrigued to see. I'm like sad and like really looking forward to the second one, but I'm sad because now I have to wait, and this is why I don't like to start new series that aren't almost finished. Like an unfinished series, it's like the bane of my existence, and darn it, I want to pick up book 2 right now. But yeah, we have that one. And then I also had on my pre-order The Wrath of the Dragons by Olivia Rose Starling. This is the second installment from Fear the Flames, which is on my Fear the Flames I've not yet read, but it is on my 12 priority fantasy romance reads, part of my like TBR jar selections, if you will. I've heard mixed things about the book 2, which to me is probably just like the book 2 syndrome, so I'm not really concerned about it. So if book 1 is really good, I'll be fine with that. So this is just we'll see how it goes, and really love the design on these, the foiling, and then also I think most of these have, yeah, they have a map and color, which that is just top tier for me. The only thing that would make this better is, as April would say, like a ribbon bookmark, because I love ribbon bookmarks as well. Like, why doesn't it have a ribbon bookmark? Like a nice gold, like silvery gold that matches the foiling bookmark would have been perfect, but that is fine. Like, I don't need, like, yeah, sure, sprayed edges are nice, but have you tried a ribbon bookmark? Those are really good. And then also I pre-ordered was Rose and Chains by Julie Soto. This one is apparently a traditionally republished with all of the IP taken out of it from a fanfic. And yeah, I have never read the fanfic. I have of HP World, and I don't know how I'll like this one. So I've heard mixed things about it, and there's a lot of like controversy surrounding this book and just about this whole thing as well. But I think I might actually read Alchemy before I would read this one. And all of that kind of controversy stuff has not exactly motivated me to want to read it first. I'm sure I will eventually read this one soon. It does have really pretty sprayed edges and such. What I really liked about this one, it's a dark romantasy, and you know me, give me gothic, give me dark fantasy romance. I am there. So that is really what pulled me in, is that whole part of it. So we'll see how this one goes. And it's what I think about it. And then next these ones are in August. So the first one, those were all from July. And the next 3 stacks are from August. This one I ordered from Aimee as well. And this is for a specific reason. Is I want to pick up some paranormals, which I forgot to put this on my October TBR, but you know, whatever. I wanted to read some paranormals, and this is one of them. So I have Dark Lover on my October TBR by J.R. Ward, and then I want to read A Quick Bite by Lindsay Sands. This is the first book in her Ingenue series, which is like one of her, apparently like a very popular vampire paranormal romance. So super excited to try this out, see what I think. Because I have really enjoyed Lindsay Sands' writing. I think the only book I read by her was The Countess, and I really enjoyed that. That had such a great humor and like characters that I really enjoyed. And it was a play on like if Earl had to die kind of thing. So I absolutely loved that one. So I'm interested in seeing how this one will be. I had a pre-order, I think, yeah, this is a pre-order of Love Arranged by Lauren Asher. This is her book 3 in a Lakefront Billionaires, and super excited to read this one. I've yet to read the other ones, so the book 1 and book 2, but I definitely foresee reading this one probably in early spring or later this year, whenever I'm in a mood for a contemporary romance. So I do have a shelf for contemporary romance for when I'm in the mood for those, and I usually like to binge them as well. My typical one, what I do like that I've noticed, that it does have like a little bit of mixed media when there's like text and like letters or things like that. I think this one has a lot of text in here, which I like a lot. And then this one also released, this was a pre-order. This is a historical romance or an Anastasia retelling. This is The Gilded Heiress by Joanna Shoup. This was on my September TBR, but I didn't get a chance to get to it because I only read like 5 books the month. But this one, relatively thin. I haven't heard too much talk about it, which is like concerning for me. But I do want to read it this year because I want to support Joanna Shoup. I love her writing. And historical romance hasn't really gotten a lot of, let's just say, momentum in the traditional publishing space. As you can tell by this one, like a lot of the historical romance the mass markets have been kind of discontinued or will no longer be published according to Avon, which is like, Avon is like the #1, I would say, publisher of mass markets. We still have Harlequin and things like that, or other smaller publishers as well, but like St. Martin's Paperback and such. But with everything, with the rising cost of everything, who knows if that's ever going to come back with mass markets. I'm going to be really sad. Yeah, this is like, what, 20 bucks now? My pre-order from Barnes & Noble is like 25% off, and then the additional 10% that you get for being a member and such like that. It is what it is. All right, these last 2 piles, these are from a library book sale. This full pile here, which is a lot of heavy books, was $20. So this one is at the one library sale near me that's like $3 a book sometimes, or like $2, I forget what it is, 2 or 3. And like their small paperbacks are like 50 cents or $1. So that is why that one was. But I found some special editions, which when you think about it, then with $3 for a special edition, it's crazy good. So this first one is Silk and Steel by Kat Martin. Doesn't have a step back. Been collecting her novels as well. And then I have just a fantasy. This is the 5th season, and I've heard there's like a sci-fi fantasy. I think it's more sci-fi, But this is more of the traditional fantasy that doesn't have romance, and so I'm interested in seeing how I like her. I've heard that the writing style may, because I think she writes in second person, and I've heard good things and I've heard mixed things. I don't know, but I heard like this was like she has really great writing. I delve into this one and see how I like it. And then next has been on my TBR for a while, and it was just when I saw it there, I was like, oh, that is just perfect. It is a YA, I think. And it's called The Paper Princess by Erin Watt. It's one of those that has gotten a lot of hype over the years, and it was like republished recently, I think last year, whole series. And we'll see. I do still like to read YA and things like that, so we'll see how I like this one. And apparently, I think like most YA is probably a love triangle, I think, between like two brothers and this girl or whatever. So we have that. And then I found I think this is YA as well, but what is cool, this is a bookish box special edition. It's called Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. Got this for $3. So it is signed. It even still had like the artwork in here, which this one looks like it has Throne of Glass artwork. I don't know. I think that's Throne of Glass artwork, is it? Yeah, I think that's Throne of Glass artwork, which is really, really cool. This was a January YA bookish box. I don't know if it was this year or what. So it's really cool. So it has these sprayed edges. It has a really nice design hardcover, which I thought was really, really cool. And then it has the reverse dust jacket, which is just crazy. I do have a Rebecca Ross, I think. Do I? Oh no, yeah, I do have a Rebecca Ross, her YA series, I think The River of the Shadows, I think that's on my YA TBR jar selections. I have the original side as well, so that's really, really cool. I thought that was just awesome. Oh yeah, and it is signed as well. And that, see if there's any other artwork. Yeah, so that is pretty cool. Pretty cool. That I was gobsmacked on that one. And then yeah, oh yeah, and then Aimee had sent me in one of my orders here some stickers and a bookmark. Ooh, I love this one. I might actually put that on my Kindle. This one says probably reading smut. Always, and a cute little bookmark. So that was so cool. She always has her live shows for, it's kind of like Instagram lives, it's really cool, on Saturdays at 9 p.m. So it's really, really cool. Been enjoying it. And then, yes, I already have a copy of this as well, but I can always, you know, donate the other one. This one is a Waterstones exclusive edition of The Scarlet Veil by Shelby Maheron. I think this one's like a vampire fantasy romance. I think it's adult. I know there's like a prequel kind of series that's YA. I DNF'd the first one, but I've heard you don't need to read that to read this one. So I think this is Waterstone, so that means like that's the UK publisher, which, yeah, it has this lacework here. So freaking cool looking. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's reversed. Okay, yeah, and then it has this under the jacket. This is like really, really thick compared to like the other original one. I don't know why that is. But yeah, that was just so cool. So cool. And then this one I may just actually read back and donate, or to put this in like do like a little free library thing, because I thought it was one book. It was on my TBR at one point, but I forgot that I had removed it because I don't know if I'll like it, but maybe I'll get a chance. It was a different one, I think Foundry Side, that I wanted to try, and this looks almost similar to Foundry Side a little bit with the cover. So that's the one I was trying to find to read. I think this was, yeah, this was at one time on my TBR. It's a historical fantasy and it's in England in 1882, Victorian England, which I just love that kind of time period. So who knows? It's a regular fantasy, so I'll see if I can just yeah, I'll try it out and see if I like it. Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. And then I have read Nora Roberts, like she's her romance, her fantasy romance at one point, and her historical romances, and even I've delved into some of her romantic suspense books as well years ago, and I want to try to go back. This one is book 1 in the Lost Bride trilogy, The Inheritance by Nora Roberts. This woman inherits a house, I believe, and then things kind of go from there. I think it has some sort of fantastical element. I don't know if it's like a past life thing or time travel or what. Not sure. Or like a reincarnation. So no idea. But it says it's hauntingly atmospheric. And you know me, if I can get something like that, like a gothic dark feeling, I am there. So don't know what to expect. But it is Nora Roberts and I've loved her in the past. And try her newer stuff. So yeah, it has that. Oh, it has something, wrote their name on it back in, so yeah, I think this was released in 2024. So yeah, really, really cool. Nice hardback. This last book, this last pile, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 books we have left. And of that 10, 8 books here I got only for $3 at a library sale. So I wrote down what it was. $3 for all of these books. So, love it. So first off, found a Sarah McLean Heartbreaker, which, you know, it's hard to find hers because no one wants to give hers away. So super excited for that I finally found. I think it's the first time maybe I found one of her books at a library sale. No, I think maybe I found another one too. 1 or 2, but yeah, super excited about this one. This is in part of the Hell's Bells novel. And then we have I think I have a pocketbook hardcover version of this one, but it's nice to have a mass market. That is Warrior's Woman by Johanna Lindsey. This is like her sci-fi fantasy romance. It's so fun. It was so much fun when I read it years ago. So I just love that cover, the embossing, love it, boiling, awesome, awesome. And then we have Lindsay Sands, because, you know, trying to find all of her stuff, so I love her writing, and that is The Husband Hunt. I think this might be a standalone, I'm not too sure. But yeah, that just looks gorgeous. And then we have Hackney Maxwell. It looks like a brand new book. This one is called A Touch of Steel. And then we have another Lindsay Sands, The Highlander Takes a Bride. We have that, which just has the scenery in the background. And then I found a Danielle L. Jensen, the new paperbacks, the Pokemon card paperbacks I just love. I didn't want to purchase them on my own, you know, full price because I wasn't like absolutely in love. But this one is like they're a set of duologies, and this is the 3rd book in the series. So I haven't read this one, so I've read the first 2. So it was like serendipitous that I found it. I was like, okay, I'll pick the series up again and try this one, see how I like it. It does have the map in here as well. This really doesn't have, it's a fantasy romance, but it really doesn't have any like fantastical like magic elements. It has more of a historical fantasy, and the fact that this land doesn't exist in our world. It's like a made-up land. But there is this like island, this island strip with the whole, it's a very, very political fantasy as well. So that whole island strip causes a lot of strife. So this one just follows the set of another couple during the same time in the events of book 1 and 2. And then I have a Lucy score that I picked up was Things We Never Got Over. I think this is book 1 in the Knock 'Em Out series, and I wanted to try this one and see if I like Lucy's score. I don't think I've ever read her before, a contemporary romance, and I'll just want to try this one out. And it just says he's absolutely not falling for the good girl. So, sounds interesting. And then I have another one that's not romance, but it's more like a general fiction. Really good things about it. And it like talks about like small town and just the social dynamics of that, and something that happens that kind of a crime that happens and how that like shakes that small town up, I think. But it's called Beartown. It's by Frederick Bachman. Looks really cool. So I'll try this one out, see how I like it. To branch out when I just don't want to read a romance or things like that. I want to try something new. We have that one. And then the next ones I do have from my pre-order from Barnes & Noble. I've already read this one. This one is Fairy Tale by Veronica Lancet. This is a very genre-bent book. It's gothic, paranormal, witchy vibes. It's got Sabrina the Teenage Witch kind of vibes a little bit, but then it has this epic, strange love, and it's also a fantasy. Time travel. It's weird. Not time travel, but yeah, it was. I loved most of this up to like 75%. Then it got a little weird. Some choices that I wasn't a fan. It kind of does have a tonal shift, but it was a 4-star. I just don't know. I took a chance because it is a gothic romance, or it sold to me like a gothic romance. Most of it, yes, but not all of it, and that was kind of the bummer. I lost interest almost all the way through 75%, and it took me a long time to finish up because it just didn't feel authentic anymore. Mainly the romance kind of side of it, but it was, I have to say, it got a lot of points for creativity and uniqueness because I don't think I've ever read anything quite like this before, even a gothic romance kind of thing. So definitely interesting. This one follows, it's in the 1950s, and this follows a girl who has to go to this town called Fairytale in order to get her inheritance or something from the reading of the will from her biological father that she has never met. And things just go from there because everything is just weird. It is so not that. That is like the very basic thing, but it just goes so much bigger, so much different directions than just that open premise. But I do think you kind of want to know a little bit what you're getting into, but just know that it's different. That's for sure. Very different. And then next I have Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This is the traditionally published version, and which I love that it has character art. This was one of April's favorite, I think, last year, and I really want to read this one. I do have the paperback because I thought they were going to publish the paperback again because I would prefer a paperback, but yeah, they decided they're not going to publish that design in the paperback in this thing, which is so annoying. So, you know, so I have yet to read it. I do want to read it. Just so annoying when they do that. So annoying. But yeah, I also did pre-order Brimstone. So excited to read this one. I know book 2 is out, so this is one of them that's on my priority reads for fantasy romance. Alright, so those are all the books, all 38 books for the end of the summer, a book haul. As always, I will have my links down below, as well as Aimee's link to her whatnot, so you can check out her stuff and follow her. So with all that, let me know if anything like pops out to you or whatnot, and if you just want to let me know that you were here and you don't want to comment anything else, just go ahead and comment a book stack emoji, or since it's the end of summer, go ahead and put like a summer emoji kind of a thing. Yeah, that works. Whatever you want to put. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.